Welcome everybody to DEMA 2024. Also this year I'm with my sponsor Bonassi, who helped me last year for my world record. And today I'm gonna give a presentation about the meaning and importance of expecting problems underwater. I hope you're gonna find it interesting, and let's get started. You already know the name of the topic of today, and I wanna start telling you a story. Last year, when I did the presentation, they asked me, so what is the most important lesson you learned from that experience? And I was thinking about the first minutes when I was getting in the water that day. I did the record in a cave in Mexico called Chich, which is part of the Sakaktum system. It's the biggest cave system in the world. So that morning, I was getting ready to go in the water with, of course, in my mind, all the dive plan I had to follow and all the things that I had to do, coordinating with my team of support divers. And I get my first tank and it starts free flowing. It starts free flowing and I think, damn, really? Now? Why? I can pretend that it's not happening and just dive with a free flow for 10 hours, but maybe not. So I kind of had to face reality, pick up my pouch with my tools that is on the back of my sidemount and opening it, get the toolbox from my car, but somebody got it for me because, I was already there. And so I have to fix, I have to do the hard choice, do the hard work of actually fixing it last moment. Now, it was leaking, why? Because I made them very sensible to have the best gas flow possible during the dive, because I had to swim for many hours. But maybe I exaggerated a little bit, so one of them started free flowing. Obviously, it didn't start to free flow when I checked the tanks before to put them in the water. It started to free flow later, after I checked it. So I said, fantastic, well, now I have to fix it. And I was thinking, well, whenever things went the way I wanted, things never go exactly the way we want. What did I expect? To have zero problem? Planning an operation like this, everything is gonna be perfectly smooth? No, this is just the first problem I'm gonna have. For sure, I'm gonna have to expect other situations to come up. Problems, now we will see what that means, okay? So I told my answer was, well, expecting problems is definitely the most important lesson I learned. And that's why I decided to give this speech today about this topic. Today we will speak about the meaning of expecting problems. We will speak about what happens if we are not ready for it, very important, and also how to get mentally ready for it. How to get mentally ready because, well, I'm not here to teach you how important it is to perform all the safety drill, valve shutdown drills in training. It's mostly about the mental approach to it, okay? I don't think you need me to come here and tell you how to open and close a valve or, how to pull your leg to remove a cramp. We speak about how to be mentally prepared for it. Let's see what does it mean to expect problems. Now, we have to analyze two words. The first one is expectations and the second one is problem. Expectations. When I speak about expecting problems, this for me is the best way to be positive about problems. There is a big difference between expecting to have to deal with something or the fear of failure, no? I think everything is gonna go wrong. I think I'm not gonna be able to handle problems. That's a negative approach to the situation. In that case, maybe we should not go diving, we should work on ourselves a little bit. A positive approach to expecting problem is, I know that something for sure is gonna happen, bigger problems, small problems, that we will see it in a moment, and I want to be ready to deal with it. This is my way to be positive. Maybe you can find another way to express this concept, but basically we speak about mental readiness and how to get there. Now, the other word, problems, what does it mean having problems underwater? Now, here there is a picture of a crocodile, because one of the cenotes where we go diving in Mexico, who doesn't know what a cenote is? You all know what cenotes are. Jesus, you make my life easy. So, we go diving in the cenotes. This is a tour for recreational divers, and there is a crocodile. In many cenotes there are crocodiles. And then the divers asked me, Is it gonna eat us? I said, yeah, sure, that's why I made the pay in advance, because probably, you know. I mean, no, look, among all the possible things that can happen, being bitten by the crocodile is the less likely to happen, you know? So, all problems are possible. Can you run out of gas? Yeah, it's possible. Can you have an explosion of one of your hoses and your tanks get empty? Yes, it's possible. Is it probable? No, not really. Most of the time that we have to deal with problems, we speak about minor inconvenience. The most probable problems are small problems. Imagine if the most probable problem would be running out of gas. Then we probably have to change everything about scuba diving, no? If the most likely thing to happen is gonna die, well, maybe we don't do that, no? So, that's the thing. So, what is gonna happen is to have a minor inconvenience. By the way, I have been bitten by a crocodile. It was a baby one, so it's just chewing a little bit my arm and then he left. They're very small, because when they grow up, they go away from the cenotes where there is a lot of people, so don't worry about it. Okay, so expecting problem means preparing ourselves to deal with them, and also knowing which kind of problems we can have. This is what happens if we are not ready for problems. When we are not ready to expect problems and they found us, it's not necessarily the end of the world. We can recover from stress and from panic, but this is much harder than if you will already be mentally prepared for whatever problem you can have, okay? So, this is what is going to happen, okay? We are going to start to question reality. We're going to think, really? Why to me? Why now? And then we're going to reject our reality. I don't want to be here. This is not supposed to happen. Why am I here instead of being on the couch watching TV with a beer? The first time I was doing restrictions in the caves and I was getting stuck, because guys, when you go in a restriction on a cave, it's never, what happened if I get stuck? Is, what am I going to do when I get stuck? This is always going to happen. So, you better expect it, because it's going to happen, okay? Don't leave the dive. We have to stay in dive mode, because what the first step of the stress reaction is the narrowed vision, where instead of focusing on looking for a solution, we focus on the fact that we are experiencing a problem. I can tell you a story about one of the first dives I was guiding as a dive master, just to give an example that is not only about cave diving. I was a dive master in training, and I was in Italy. In Italy, we guide 90, 120 feet group of, that day I had 12 divers, guys. It was 12 divers are too many that you can even count them to make sure that they are all still behind you. You can just count the couples. You count 6 couples. The visibility was bad. I was 120 feet, 12 divers. I had only like less than 100 dives, yeah, under my bed. Yeah, was this one in 2007, I think. And I was narcotized, and I was cold, and I was tired because I didn't sleep enough, because we were driving the boats, refilling the tanks, getting the dives, you know, working as a slave, as a dive master is supposed to do, to learn the meaning of working under pressure, super important. Anyway, and I was there and I was thinking, damn, I don't see half of these people. Where are they? Did I already lost divers during my first month? And I stressed a lot. I really experienced stress, but really, really strong. I had to grab, by the way, 120 feet of depth doesn't mean that the bottom was 120. The bottom maybe was 400 feet. I have no idea. I don't remember. It was very deep. And so I had to hold myself on the wall just to, and I start to hyperventilate, thinking, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I here? Why am I here? I was working in real estate. I was so fine, but why? Why? Doesn't matter why, now you're here, so do something about it, okay? So I had to collect myself, refocus on my objective, pick up people, because then when you lose leadership, your divers start to go all over the place. They take initiative, yeah? So, did I manage to solve the situation? Well, eventually yes, but I ran through my gas super fast. I had to hold a rock for like 5 minutes, wasting most of the bottom time at the depth. So I've been there. You can recover from it, yes, but you're really on the edge of having an accident, because problems don't cause accidents. Our reaction to the problem does. So we become the problem. But especially because most of us diving team, especially if we are guiding, we want to be an asset and not a liability for our team. Now, let's see now how to get mentally ready for problems. We have to do 4 things. Number 1, we have to experience how it feels to make mistakes. Then we have to experience how it feels to fail to solve a problem. Then we have to experience how it feels to succeed to solve a problem, because of course we want to be positive, no? We don't want it just to be... And then the last thing, we have to experience stress. All these experiences, of course we can do them organically, doing our regular dives, working or for fun. But what I want to tell you here today is that we want to go diving on purpose to cause ourselves problems. Maybe let's do it when we are not working, maybe let's do it in a safe environment where we can manage the risk and learn from yourself and from the environment. Because only getting in troubles lead to real solutions. Fake troubles still lead to real solution, okay? Because in our mind, our brain doesn't know the difference. Like once we feel the stress of being in a certain situation, you know, we can even experience stress just thinking about something. Simulating something in a scenario, of course it works. Experiencing mistakes. Now, the good thing about experiencing how it feels to make mistakes, we don't really need to try to make mistakes. It's gonna happen. I wanna tell you about 2 different fields. Number 1 is a bit more broad, okay? I'm speaking about our training and the dive planning, and later we see just about a specific objective, okay? There's a little bit of a difference. Now, having a good training, doing a perfect dive plan, it's super useful, it's necessary, and we can spend all the energies necessary to make a dive plan, because we do it at home. We have all the time to do it, yeah? This is the map of the cave where I did the record. Of course, I spent several days to plan the dives in details. I really tried to consider all possible variables. I took into account what happens if I am late because I'm tired and I swim slower than the pace I'm supposed to maintain, okay? And so I say, if I make a perfect plan, I shouldn't be able to avoid errors, right? No. If you have a perfect plan, if you have perfect training, you only reduce the amount of mistakes you do and the severity of them. You're not going to prevent them all. I took in account up to 20 minutes delay in my exit from the cave, thinking, okay, this is what can happen if I'm swimming very slow for whatever reason. And on the way back, I dropped my weapons with the whole dive plan. I had this thing with me underwater in my weapon, and I dropped it. And I didn't recognize it right away. I recognized it after 20 minutes. And man, I had to go pick it up. I needed it to prove the dive I was doing. So I had to recalculate all my gas, check how late I was going to be. And I knew that I was going to be later than my divers expect me to be. And they would probably start to come to look for me because they didn't see me coming out. But I had to do it. So I went, I picked up the weight. Everything went fine, but what I mean is that even the most accurate and precise plan, and even if you have the best training possible, it doesn't mean that you're not gonna make mistakes. So it's very important to remember how you feel when you experience that. Of course, trying to prevent it from happening to the next time. So the next time you're not going to have the same problem. You're going to have a different one. Yeah? But at least you are mentally prepared to know how it feels. Now, other than super complex plans, long training and stuff like this, there are also another scenario where we just want to do something easier. Maybe we can also go diving without a super precise plan. This day I was going diving with my friend Yoram, who took the pictures. We decided to go diving to shoot pictures upside down in the caves. Because I've been swimming upside down in the caves many times just for fun, I thought, well, it's gonna be a piece of cake, you know? But that's it, it's gonna be easy, no problem. I don't really need to over plan it, no? And then I realized, no, you know what? It was so difficult to understand if I was horizontal or not, because, you know, you want to be horizontal in a picture, you don't want to be all like this, no? Yeah? So, if you swim upside down close to a flat ceiling, very, very, very close to the ceiling, it's actually very easy to be horizontal because you have a very good visual reference close to you. When the ceiling is covered with stalactites, you cannot go very close to it because, I mean, you break them. You don't really get stabbed, but you break them. And so I didn't know if I was horizontal or not. I had to take some pictures, he showed me the screen, he told me, look, you look awful, let's do it again. It's like this. Sometimes you plan everything, and still something's gonna go wrong. Sometimes you decide to don't plan too much, and you must be ready to get surprised. Sometimes what you think is the challenge is not gonna be the challenge, it's gonna be something else. Now, experiencing failing to solve a problem, here, guys, is where I say, go diving purposely to get things wrong. Because you have to know how to feel to don't be able to solve a problem, to dive with a problem with your equipment, whatever sort of handicap you decide to give yourself for that dive. I remember I was reading an article about a couple of cave divers who, husband and wife, and she had a failure of her wing. So even if you're not a cave diver, you can relate to this example, okay? It's a real example. The corrugate of her sidemount wing completely broke, and so even if she was going to push to inflate, it didn't inflate, and even if she wanted to inflate with her mouth, was impossible because it was really disconnected from the bladder, okay? So, complete loss of buoyancy, impossible to solve the problem, okay? And she was saying that she was really stressed, she panicked, she didn't know what to do, and the husband had to basically hold her to bring her out to control the buoyancy for both of them. I mean, they didn't die, but I was thinking, okay, this can happen to me. Of course, this can happen to everybody. Is it probable? Yeah, I don't know. It just happened to this couple, so let's go diving and see how I can deal with the situation. So I went diving purposely with my wing empty. I went cave diving in a training site where we are used to go to do zero visibility exercises, places where there is nothing to break, okay? Where I can crawl on the floor and nothing is gonna be damaged. And I did like maybe half an hour on the way out, just pulling and jumping, you know, on the floor to get out of the cave with no air in my wing, and it wasn't that bad, guys. It's not that difficult. It was not that stressful. Actually, if I put myself on the rocks like this, you know, if I pull myself out of a cave or I hunt like a frog, I can go almost like faster than if I'm swimming, and I don't necessarily get that tired. Now that I know it, if this is going to happen to me in a real dive, chill. I already know what to expect. I don't have to wonder. If this lady, for example, would have tried to do it herself, the day that this happened for real, she wouldn't panic. You know? I don't say that there is anything wrong with feeling stressed. We're going to get to this, but what I mean is that you're going to be afraid of something terrible happening to you, maybe. When instead, no, just because you fail to solve a problem, you cannot fix the VCD underwater, yeah? It's not going to be necessarily that bad most of the time. You're just going to make it out. Trust me. Don't have to trust me, actually. That's the whole point of what I'm saying today. Go to the water and try. Try to go in the water without being able to clip your pants. Yeah? See, what happens if your pants, instead of being clipped, properly placed in your equipment and swimming around? Are you going to die? No, you're going to look awful, but you're not going to die. You know? It's not going to be the day they're going to take the best picture of you, but it doesn't matter. You're going to make it. Now, other times, instead, experiencing failure can be a very humbling experience, and this is one of the things that I want my students to feel. I tell my students, one of the objectives during our course, and I'm speaking about open water courses, I'm speaking about technical and cave diving, is I want you to experience how it feels if you kill yourself or if you kill me. Yeah? And it always managed to make it happen, at least once or twice. Once they kill me, once they kill themselves, you know, I want them to feel that. Because, first of all, you remember that you're just human, that you make mistakes, but most importantly, among all the little things that can go wrong, make sure that you don't make the big things go wrong. Now, one of the exercises where usually I manage to get divers to kill themselves is in training, YouTube in training, is the lost line exercise that we do in cave diving, where we simulate in zero visibility, we don't find our guideline for the exit, and we have to go to look for it, okay? At the first attempt, almost everybody failed. And I'm happy that they feel that, because they recognize how important it is to actually stay close to the line so you don't lose it. This exercise is not to teach you how to find the line. I mean, yes it is, but this exercise is to teach you don't lose the line, okay? And the other one, when they kill me, is, okay, when they fail to provide gas, if I'm out of gas, always in zero visibility, and they don't find their evidence to give me, you know, and they say, today you killed your teammate. How does it feel? It sucks, doesn't it? Yes, so let's not do it anymore. Let's see how we can avoid it, okay? So, what I mean is that you have to experience the feeling of not being able to solve a problem. Most of the time, doesn't matter. You can get out of the water like this. Other times, you really have to avoid to put yourself in this situation because there is no coming back. But if you don't try, you don't know. Now, because, of course, we want to go dive with a positive mindset, we also want to think, we also want to experience succeeding at solving problems. But, very important, also here I give you a couple of examples. It doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to be good enough. You can either, like we did before, dive purposely with a problem with your equipment. One day you purposely fail to fix it, and the next day, or the next 10 minutes, you purposely try to fix it. Now, this is me messing around with my sidemount tanks, trying to clip it, and then my hand is sore, and I cannot find the clip anymore, or the clip is jammed, whatever. How can I solve a problem like this? I take another clip, I'm gonna clip my tanks, it's not gonna be perfectly horizontal, it's gonna be going like this, but it's still attached to my body, that it looks like crap, but I fixed it. Or other examples can be, okay, I'll give you a real example, a real life example, okay? I was in Egypt, guiding a 30 feet dive with a lady who decided to use the dry suit for the first time. I didn't know that, she told me later. She loses her buoyancy and she starts to go up. And I know that I have to stop her, because if you go up very fast from 10 meters, from 30 feet, you're not gonna get bent, but you can have a lungs overextension, because especially if you're stressed because you cannot control the buoyancy, maybe while you're taking a big breath, you go up 10 feet, you can already have a lungs overextension. The only thing I could do was to grab her from the neck. Obviously the air from the neck didn't come out as much as was necessary, and she kept going up. So I said, okay, if I cannot stop you from going up, I'm gonna try to slow you down. So I was hanging from her suit to slow down the ascent while she was punching you in the face, because of course that's what you do, right? Did I manage to solve the problem? Yeah, I mean, she went out slow, and did it look pretty? No, it looked like crap, but doesn't matter. Focus on your objective. You must be efficient. If we want to be efficient, we have to focus on our objective. Because if we focus on perfection, we are focusing on our ego. We want things to be perfect. Life doesn't need things to be perfect. It must be good enough. Remember this, if you're solving a problem, once it's good enough, focus your priority, go. Don't keep trying there to make the equipment looks perfect, you know, just go. This probably is one of the most important aspects of all this thing, okay? Experiencing success can be a very rewarding experience. I can give you an example of when, also here, of course, taking pictures with my friend Yoram Mennes. This time, instead of going upside down, it was many years ago, when I was starting to experimenting with the equipment that I actually use for my record. I am his mule, not just the model, so I also carry all the video lights, which are very heavy. And that day, we prepared like 4 video lights together, which I'm holding with my hands there. And they were probably, I don't know, very, very negative buoyant. So I was thinking, okay, we're gonna go dive with this very negative equipment in my hand. It's gonna make my arms very tired for sure, but I can hold that because I can also keep them close to my chest eventually when I'm just swimming, but my buoyancy is gonna go, I can end up head down and fins up. So I put another side mount wing on my shoulder just to have more lift, just to control the trim. And it worked perfectly because I was able to stay in the water for maybe a couple of hours holding these things without having to get my legs tired trying to be horizontal. So it worked perfectly. I was very happy about this. But another thing, I was also very happy that I managed to help this lady to slow down her ascent despite she was punching me on the face. So, see, she also went to complain to the dive shop. Yeah. Anyway, when you feel that you've been successful at solving a problem, it's awesome. So, if you experience something awesome, you want to experience it all the time. So, when you prepare yourself to solve a problem, you prepare yourself by doing all the experiments, all the stupid dives with handicaps and with your equipment I just was speaking about. And you feel that you're capable of doing these awesome things you never thought you were capable of. The next time that you're going to have to handle a situation, you know you have the tools to do that, and you know that instead of focusing, what am I going to do, how am I going to be able to do it, you're going to feel like, yes, I know what to do it. I have these positive feelings inside me that everything is going to feel awesome for me and maybe for the person I'm going to help. So, experiencing the humbleness of failing at is it humbleness correct in English? Yes? It's not my first language. You also want to experience the awesomeness at succeeding. You want to experience both, you know, yin and yin, whatever, like, call it as you want, doesn't matter. Okay? But you want to experience everything. You want to, you have to, you need it to. The people who dive with you need you to be aware of the pros and cons of everything. It's not just about you. Alright, experiencing stress. Stress is stressful, can be shameful, but can also be beautiful. Here, of course, I'm speaking about going diving and causing stress on purpose. We go in a place where we don't really need risk to die if things go wrong. We can experience the narrow vision where we want to leave the dive, we are breathing too much, we can experience a lot of negative things, okay? But if you learn the physiology and psychology of stress, you are gonna learn that stress can be a superpower. I'm not gonna speak for 2 hours about the HPA axis, the cortisol and adrenaline and all the stuff that happens in your neuroendocrine system when you get stressed. But you are stronger, you don't feel cold, you feel less pain, you're faster. It's like having a superpower, but you're also dumber because the adrenaline and cortisol are intoxicating your prefrontal cortex, okay? So your IQ is going down a little bit. That's why we must train to have an automatic response to the most serious situation, okay? Gas sharing, ready. Failure to my regulator, valve shut down, whatever. Ready, you don't have to think about it, you just have to do it. our perception of our level of stress becomes an additional stressor. Oh my God, I'm getting stressed, I'm about to crap myself, you know? And also, we feel, because of this, that we are not in control of the situation, and we can also feel shameful of not being in control of ourselves. Yeah? I don't know if you ever felt like this, like, damn, why I'm so stupid? Why do I feel like this? If you study stress, the physiological and psychological effects, you realize that this is normal. It has to happen because your body, your instinct, is preparing you for action. Yeah? You don't need to be smart to take action. You just have to run into the problem and destroy it or run away, depending where you want to put yourself in the food chain. No? Now, this shame that we can feel when we are stressed, this is normal. So, once we study stress and we know that it is normal, it is happening, we can start to accept it. We are not in control of our emotions, but we are in control of our actions. So, we cannot even think about repressing stress. Tell yourself, don't stress, is the worst bullshit possible. Of course you have to stress. I mean, you have all the reasons in the world to be stressed. Okay? You can be running out of gas, you can be swimming against the current, you can be stuck in a restriction in a cave. Whatever example works for you, okay? You can be in a house fire. Can you ask somebody in a house fire, don't stress, buddy, it means that I'm on fire. If I don't stress now, when do I stress? When I'm dead? Of course I'm stressed. It's normal. It's normal that it becomes an additional stressor. It's normal that we can experience shame, and we have to accept it. And then it's when it can become beautiful, okay? Because once we accept our emotions and we let them run on the background, yeah, I'm stressful, okay, I'm stressful, but I got stuff to do. I must get the job done, so I can control my actions. The famous cortisol, one of the hormones responsible for stress, when I don't perceive the situation as a stressor anymore, it's gonna give a negative feedback to our brain, and it's gonna cease to be that stressful. But we still are stronger, faster, able to, react to problems. Then becomes almost like, okay, super. You don't become Superman when you're stressed. Maybe you become an asshole when you're stressed. I don't know. You are capable of things that, if you're relaxed, you're not capable of. So take advantage of that. But you can do it only if you study. You have to go to Wikipedia, whatever thing you like to read, and study a little bit about it. When I have to control my actions while letting the stress run on the background when I'm doing something underwater, it's like, this is the beautiful part. I have to talk to myself like if I am contemporary. At the same time, I am my father and my son. Like there is a big me and a little me. The little me is the one who cannot control the emotion and is freaking out. And the bigger me is the one who says, okay, it's okay that you're... Imagine if you have to talk to your child who is angry, sad, stressed, or whatever it is. Okay, it's okay that you feel like this. It's normal. Don't worry about it. It's gonna get better. It's fine. Now, do what you got to do. Because you cannot just say, it's fine, you can die. No, it's fine that you're stressed, but now do what you got to do, okay? You have to embrace this feeling. Stressful makes you feel alive. Life is stressful. One of the best way to refocus on my objective and let stress run on the background is having power statements, okay? Many people say mantras, whatever, power statements. So, instead of thinking stuff like, why is this happening to me? Why am I here? Why am I not on the couch watching Formula One? Why am I underwater, stuck in a hole in zero visibility? And the two power statements I use are these one. I am a normal person. I have normal reactions to normal problems. If the problems are extraordinary, I'm going to have an extraordinary reaction to them. And this is also normal. Yeah. And the other thing I tell myself when I am doing something that for me then is a bit extreme, I tell myself, I am the person I want to be. I'm in the place I want to be, I'm doing the things I want to do, I am with who I want to be. And then I do it, because I expect to find challenges. I look for challenges, and I find them. And when I find them, I deal with them. Why? Because I like to do that. If you don't like challenges, good luck with your life, man. I don't know what to tell you. So, when I find a problem, I want to be able to say, I know what problems to expect, and I also know what to expect from myself. It's situational awareness and self-awareness. You either are always ready or you never are. Do you really think that just because you make up stories in your mind about how cool you are, if tomorrow you're going to have an emergency underwater, you're going to be able to solve it just because once you practice it in the pool? No. You always have to practice it. Always, 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 always. Why in technical diving we repeat the safety drill, which is gas sharing, bar shutdown, at the beginning on every dive? Or why diving instructors with 100 dives are better than divers, recreational divers with 200 dives? Because they go in the pool every day and they repeat the drills every day. You're always ready or you never are. And, well, stress is our best ally. It's because it gives you the possibility to have more power to solve a problem if you know and you accept what stress is, as I said before. And guys, problems are opportunities to prove yourself. Prove yourself. Why did you spend all this time training? Because if this happened today, you know how to do it. So now you get a problem, you say, poor me. No, well, did you want the bicycle? Now you got the pedal. Do you say this in English? We say this is a very Italian saying, no? You want to take the bike? Now you gotta use it, no? And, very, very important, maybe a little bit arrogant, I know. I don't guess, I know. I don't have to guess what is going to happen if this piece of equipment fails. I know it. Because I made it fail on purpose. I don't know, I don't have to guess, if I have this problem, if something happens, somehow I'm going to find a solution. No, somehow you're going to die. I mean, literally, somehow we're all going to die, right? Yeah. So, somehow doesn't work. You got to know it. Okay? So, this is what I want to tell you today. Expecting problem means being ready. Make yourself ready. Be ready. Be ready to expect problems, because if you expect them, they're not problems anymore. They are challenges where you can prove yourself what you're worth it. And with this, I'm done with the speech, guys. Guys, thank you for listening to my presentation until the end. I hope you found it interesting. Remember to subscribe, like, and watch all of my videos, and I will see you next time.